In this video, we're going to talk about my April numbers, and we're going to talk about some poor man covered call trades, one in which I did just this past week. Stick around. I know you're going to like this one. Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Well, today we're going to talk about my April numbers and I'm going to show you a poor man's covered call trade. In fact, we're going to talk about my last couple poor man covered call trades because we've been absolutely kicking ass with the poor man's covered call. Now, if you've never been to my channel, let's get through this rather quickly. We talk cash flow. I'm in retirement. I need cash flow, so I sell premium, writing covered call, selling cash secure put, doing the poor man's covered call to generate cash flow. You get the theme here. It's all about the monthly cash flow because the bills do not stop, so I cannot stop. We have to stay the course, otherwise we have no cash flow. So if that's what interests you, then I want you to subscribe to the channel. It's right there. It's free. I come back every week, show you timely and relevant selling premium trades to try to up your game. And hey, look, if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. And what we're doing is this. We're going to talk about the April numbers. I'll do a video later breaking down every single trade. For you out there that are thinking, wow, this guy spends 5 minutes patting himself on the back. Yeah, I saw the comment. And to be honest with you, you haven't been a part of the channel for the past 6 and 7 years. Look, that's what we do here. We try to encourage people with the positivity to keep them in the game. Apparently, you don't need that positivity to stay in the game. Most people do. That's why I do this. So with that said, we are going to talk about my monthly income for April real quick. And as you can see, we did not meet our goal. You know, if you've been watching the channel, you know I'm trying to make $15,000 to $20,000 a month. We came up short. And I know for a lot of you, $14,270 is not coming up short. But at the end of the day, I have goals. I set goals so I can try to reach those goals. See, without goals, we're nothing but a rudderless boat, right? We don't have a direction. We're just doing things to do it. So I have a goal every single month. I have a goal. If you have a dream, put it on paper, then it becomes a goal. Then you can try to check mark that you completed the goal. Very important. Take dreams, put them on paper, then go get them. So April turns out to be a win because it does put positive cash flow on the table, but we fall short. So coming into May, we have to up the game. We have to up the game because we are not going to fall short. That's my mindset. The bills do not stop. I have to keep pushing forward to try to meet my goals. Now, with that said, looking at my overall totals for the year, I'll tell you what, $50,000 and we're starting the month of May puts me on track to where I want to be. Okay, that put me around that $100,000 mark, which we're looking at. But what I really want to do is break a record this year. You know, of course, you know my record is $109,000 for a year. I believe that was back in 2020, the year the stock market crashed with the pandemic. But we want to get there again. Last year, I fell short because of the 9-to-5 was just grinding me down. We only made about $56,000. Well, this year, here we are starting the month of May. We're already damn near beating that. So stick around. You're going to see this throughout the year as we look to achieve our goals. And I love it. Keep your hurdles low so you can achieve them. And that'll motivate you to then set your next goal so you can have success. Okay. So it's all about motivation and inspiration here, plus real deal money that I make. So let's go ahead and take a peek at all the trades that I completed in April, just so you get a feel of how many trades I'm making to generate this $14,000. Well, as you can see real quick, this is my total P&L for the month of April. You could see that we had trades where we lost money and we made money. Understand that when you download the total income tracker from my website, cptdashboard.com, it's free. I don't spam you. You have to plug in the trade, close the trade, paste it in the month that you close the trade. In and out, you see everything. And the numbers are what they are. There's no fudging the numbers here. It is what it is. And when I do that, this is what I get. We get $14,270 for the month of April. We did start out with a loss on a buyback. It was a covered call buyback of UDOW. We then sell the shares, making $2,600. So we didn't lose money on that overall trade. In fact, I made money on the upfront cash secure put. Then I was assigned the shares. I wrote a covered call. I was able to buy that covered call back. Then the second covered call, we find ourselves making a profit, but I have to then buy back the near-term option, which I did, and then we sold the shares immediately, making that overall profit. Well, it's a negative on the tracker because the buyback cost me $3,500. You see how this works? It's in, it's out, there's the numbers. So when you see my numbers, there's no hocus pocus with these numbers. Okay, everything is laid out. Every single trade is its own trade. So we did about 21 trades, and we were able to sell some shares, and that's a great month. $14,270. Come on, I'll take that every single time. But again, it doesn't meet our goals, so we have to tighten it up, and we have to go back to work. And if you're at a point where you'd like to be a part of what I do and see what I do, this is what all of the members see. My membership is very inexpensive. You get to see every single trade. You get exclusive videos. You get to see the world through my eyes. An active, successful trader. And I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, the pure volume of the content I sent out to members will absolutely blow your mind. What I'm going to show you today is something I sent out to the members just 2 days ago, and I take action. Okay, my membership is not about sending out some trade alert and wish you well. I actually put skin in the game, and that's what you're going to see right now with this week's Poor Man's Covered Call trade that I sent to the members, and then I executed the very next day. Now, as a reminder, you go to cptdashboard.com, cptdashboard.com, click free spreadsheets, scroll down, and get your free world famous yes, world famous. This tracker has been downloaded over 150,000 times. Man, had I just thrown a buck at this tracker, unbelievable how I could have monetized this. So it is free. So go to cptdashboard.com, click upgraded dashboard, get your free copy of the Poor Man's Covered Call. I don't spam you, and don't worry, I do not sell you anything. So what we're talking about is a Poor Man's Covered Call on energy sector spider fund. Now, what we're going to talk about, how I set this trade up, why I set this trade up, what I sent to my members, and how I then executed on the trade. So we're talking about using the Poor Man's Covered Call, and what we're going to do is this with the Poor Man's Covered Call. Let's go ahead and talk about XLE. The reason I went with XLE and I showed the members, this Poor Man's Covered Call trade alert. Now, when I'm thinking of a trade, generally I send this out to the members, but I've already done my legwork. So my membership is about seeing the world through my eyes. So I've already done the legwork, and usually I talk about the trade before I send it out. Well, in this case, it happened so quickly, I just wanted to throw it out there. And if you understand the Poor Man Covered Call, then you know what I'm about to show you. When you initiate a Poor Man's Covered Call trade, the very first thing we want to do is make sure the LEAPS call option purchase cost as minimal as possible. So we're going to talk about that here in a minute. So remember, I could have bought the shares outright. Now, at the time of this trade, it was trading for $78.32. So that would have been $7,832 out of my wallet, buy 100 shares. Well, we're going to use the Poor Man's Covered Call here, where we're going to buy that LEAPS call option, which is a January 2024 LEAPS call option. What we're going to do is we're going to buy the LEAPS call option that is the 95 Delta. Right, so we're looking at the 95, the 96, and the 98 Delta, and what we're looking to do is pick one of those LEAPS. Now, when we plug in that particular strike price, say for example, the 95 Delta, That happens to be the 47 leap, meaning right now, today, May 6th, I can buy somebody's shares paying $47. Now, that does not mean I'm buying the shares for $47. I have to pay the premium to do that. I have to pay the upfront premium to essentially, or make them hold the shares for me until January 2024. Now, again, I picked the 47 leap because it is a 95 delta. The 95 delta represents a 95% move in the leap call option for every $1 the stock moves up or down. Okay, so we picked that 95 delta leap. So if the stock moves $1, my leap call option moves 95 cents of that for the most part. We picked the 47 leap because it is the 95 delta. But when we plug into the initial trade setup, we see paying $32 for taking control of somebody's shares at 47, we're only going to pay 68 cents. Okay, 68 cents. So what you need to understand here is this, and I'm going to go ahead and draw on the page here. An option has two parts. We've got real money and we have time value. Okay, so in this case, let's think about this. Remember, the stock is $78.32. I'm going to buy somebody's shares at 47. What is the difference? Okay, what makes up the difference? Well, anything from 47 to 78.32 is real money in the option, right? So it's going to be real money plus time value. Now, time value is that little bit of money that the person owning the shares will get paid for holding the shares till January 24, right? Do you see this now? The shares are trading for $78.32. I'm going to pay a premium. I'm going to pay a covered call premium to essentially control somebody's shares. I'm going to pick the 47 strike. I'm going to buy their shares at 47. Well, I have to pay a premium. That premium turns out to be $32. Now, what's the difference between 47 and $32? Well, you can see the difference is a mere 68 cents. From 78.32 to the combined total of 47 and 32, we get an excess time value cost of 68 cents. Okay, that's 68 cents right there is the cost of this trade, because everything else is real money. That person makes zero on the real money part. They make nothing on the real money side. It's the time value. And in this case, they're literally just making 68 cents per share. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to make sure that that time value is less than 1%. That's what we want. That's how we want to start this trade, because I feel we can make up that difference on our very first covered call. And sure enough, when we plug those numbers into the poor man's covered call initial trade setup, we get something like this. I'm going to pick the near-term covered call being the 79 strike. Remember, it's trading for 78.32. I'm going to pick the 79 strike. I'm going to get paid $2.46, meaning we get a little bit of stock appreciation or leaps appreciation, and I'm going to collect that near-term covered call premium. Essentially, when all the money's laid on the table, we're going to pocket in this 29-day trade some $619 for the money invested. Look at the money I'm investing. I'm buying 2 leaps contracts to do this. So my cost basis is not $3,200. It's going to be double that. I now control 200 shares. And what we're going to do is we're going to write a covered call using 2 contracts. And that's the money that we will make if my shares are taken. Now, if my shares are taken, I don't own shares, so we have to unravel this trade at the end. But let me show you why I decided to use a poor man's covered call versus buying the shares. Remember, while you're at my website, cptdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard to be a part of the membership. I'm now going to show you the trade that I sent to the members. Now, mind you, they got this trade alert one day before. So they already got the trade. They already got the print screen of the initial trade setup that I'm looking to do. Now it's time for me to execute on that plan. Look, cptdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard, get your 1 free month. Would love to welcome you aboard. So real quick, it's very clear to me right now that Wall Street's doing exactly what I always tell the members. They sell them off to bid them up, to sell them off to bid them up. Look, if you're asking me, the worst is behind us. And I'll tell you what, this is our playground right now. Most of the stocks that we use have hit support lines. They've bounced off the support lines. We're not in the fluff area of these stocks, right? If you were waiting for your moment to get involved, I'm telling you what, right now, you need to start looking right now, do your homework, but this is the best opportunity. We are absolutely finding perfect trades, and I love it. It is the energy sector. Of course, that has been beaten down. You could see that oil is getting roughed up. It was damn near 100. It's now sitting at about 69 to 71 bucks a barrel. I think this is its sandbox. I think what you're going to find is that oil will trade around that 69 number and find its way potentially to 89. So this is your sandbox. And when that happens and we're trading near the bottom of the support, look what we get. We get this beautiful support line across the board. We also see this downtrend, right? We're not making higher highs. What we want to do is this. We want to get involved with any stock when it's trading in the lower 25 percentile of its current trading range. Okay, so if we're going to say this is the trading range, right, up here, down here, then we want to get involved at the bottom 25 percentile. Okay, I don't want to be up here. I don't want to be in the middle. I want to be in the lower 25%. The reason for that is rather simple because you can see it. When it tests those support lines, Wall Street likes it. Can you see a trend here? Okay, can you see little trends here? I know that some will say past history is not indicative of what will go forward, right? But what I'll tell you is this. I like seeing this right here. What we're witnessing right now is very similar. Yes, we do have lower highs, but again, if you believe like me that this is the sandbox, well, that sandbox is right about there, 85 to 89. So here we are sitting at some 78.32 when I send this to the members. To me, 78.32 is at support. That's when I want to get involved. That's when you get that email as a member. Now, why did I elect a poor man's covered call? Well, it was going to cost me $7,832 to purchase 100 shares. I'd write that covered call. I'd make that covered call premium. We would hopefully believe that the stock does not fall any lower. Okay, and even if it did, we would say this is going to be the next line of support, and that's 69. And although I don't like that, feel like you got kicked in the nads on this setup, I'll take it. That's not too far from where my cost basis is. We entered this trade thinking, let's see, if I spend $7,832 to buy 100 shares, what does a poor man's covered call offer us if I pick that 95 Delta leap? And if you remember, going back to our setup, what do you notice? I would have ponied up $7,800 to control 100 shares. Well, in this case, I'm able to control 200 shares for even less, right? I have control of 200 shares and I'm able to write 2 near-term cover calls, doubling my covered call cash flow. The poor man's covered call initial trade setup allows for that. What I need you to do is go there, download it, and use it. There is a how to use video. I'm telling you what, if you're going to use the poor man's covered call, you absolutely need the poor man's covered call tracker to help you set up your trade, putting you in the most favorable position. So now let's go ahead and look at the trade. What did I do? Like I told you, if I put out a seeing the world through my eyes trade alert, I'm usually already 1 foot in, right? I'm doing all the legwork. I'm looking at it. I love it. And sure enough, that's what happens here. I decide to go ahead, use those 2 leap call options to write 2 near-term covered calls. And what we decide to do is use the 81.50 strike. Now, remember what I said earlier. I bought this leap when the stock was trading at 78.32. I was not able to get off a trade that day. We wake up the next day, the stock is popping, and now it's trading for $80.23. So I'm already profitable on this leaps call option. I could actually sell it and have pocketed decent money. But we're going to use it And this is what I decided to do. I picked that very favorable 81.50. I love that 81.50 strike right now. 81.50. We pick a 28-day June 2nd expiration, right? We're going to go ahead and pick up $370 in near-term covered call projected cash flow. Now, this is projected covered call cash flow. You say, John, you showed me $619 earlier. Remember, that's if my shares are taken away. This trade, the way I see this trade, is a premium only trade. If I end up making the $619, hey, that's a win, and we document it as such. But for me, this is about the near-term covered call premium because I might use these leaps call options for another trade if the stock does not finish above 81.50. Do you see how we do this here at the membership? We don't just set it and forget it. We are managing trades. We are making sure we're in the most favorable position and we're executing. We're not just talking. We are a membership of action. So I tell the members exactly why I'm doing this trade. So in case they were interested in that, they can take on this trade. We also talk about how much money I invested, the delta I selected, how many shares I'm controlling, how much I paid, and what that strike is. And as you can see, when I place the trade, I'm already in the green. Oh, by the way, when I use a leaps call option and I use it for multiple trades, I post up every single covered call so the members know how my leaps call option is performing. See, the leaps call option is a vehicle for me to use covered call. So what I do is I document every single trade so they can see the progress and see how much this leaps call option has actually made me. Remember that Pfizer trade I let you know about? The almost perfect covered call trade? That's already produced 3 fabulous near-term covered call profits. The stock is basically trading where it was when I bought the leaps call option. We are knocking it down using the poor man's covered call right now because last year we learned a lot about when to use the poor man's covered call. And in fact, I crashed and burned on some of those trades, actually losing everything. We stand up, dust ourselves off, having that experience, and now we're better for it. Now you're going to benefit from my experience and my success and failures because if you join the membership today, you get things like this. Okay? So look, if you have questions about the poor man's covered call, feel free to email me. Feel free to email me or comment below. Talk to me. What's the major concern you have about the poor man's covered call? Tell me in the comments below because look, I'll answer it, but maybe somebody else out there that has as much experience as I will answer it too. Hey, I'll tell you what, we have to make the best decisions with the best information we have. And if you're sitting out there wanting to do the poor man's covered call, you know there's a lot of spinning plates with this trade, but you can do it. Once you understand it, you can do it, man. It'll flow like water. Right now, in the comments below, let me know if you like this video. If you have questions, ask the question. But more importantly, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your poor man covered calls be profitable.